I was taught to give from what's left, after the mortgage, after the car payment, after utilities, groceries, subscriptions, and whatever the month had been. Then, if something remained, give. The logic was intuitive. You cannot give what you do not have. Build the foundation first, then be generous. I held that framework for years before I went back to the primary text and found something completely different. The text does not say, give from what's left. The text says, give first. The distance between those two instructions in behavioral economics and compound effect and the practical experience of a household budget is not a matter of emphasis. It is a matter of architecture. This video is the correction. Acts 2:44-45. All the believers were together and had everything in common. They sold property and possessions to give to anyone who had need. Acts 4:32-35. All the believers were one in heart and mind. There were no needy persons among them, for from time to time those who owned land or houses sold them, brought the money from the sales and put it at the apostles' feet, and it was distributed to anyone who had need. Two details most readings miss. From time to time, not a single liquidation event, an ongoing practice across the community, repeated, sustained giving over time. Brought the money and put it at the apostles' feet, full transparency, public accounting, no shadow account, no portion quietly retained and the rest presented as the whole. The outcome? There were no needy persons among them. This is the gleaning principle from EP 35 applied at the community level. No needy persons within the community, built through complete transparency and repeated voluntary giving. Not compulsory, not communal ownership of property, but a community whose members chose to give first, fully and visibly. Ananias and Sapphira sell a piece of property. They secretly keep part of the proceeds and bring the rest to the apostles as if it were the full amount. Peter's response in Acts 5:4, "Didn't it belong to you before it was sold? And after it was sold, wasn't the money at your disposal? What made you think of doing such a thing? You have not lied just to human beings, but to God." The property was theirs. There was no requirement to sell it. There was no requirement to give the full proceeds. Peter is not rebuking them for keeping a portion. He is rebuking them for lying about it. The Acts 2-4 financial architecture was built on complete financial transparency, the kind EP 28 established as the foundation of financial unity in marriage. Ananias and Sapphira created a shadow account while claiming full transparency. The early church could only function, as Acts 4:32 describes, if its financial relationships were characterized by complete honesty. The sin was not the retained amount. The sin was the broken transparency, the same shadow ledger EP 28 identified as the driver of financial infidelity in marriage, operating here at the community level. 2 Corinthians 8:2-5, in the midst of a very severe trial, their overflowing joy and their extreme poverty welled up in rich generosity. For I testify that they gave as much as they were able, and even beyond their ability. Entirely on their own, they urgently pleaded with us for the privilege of sharing in this service to the Lord's people. Extreme poverty, giving beyond capacity, entirely on their own initiative, urgently pleading for the privilege. Paul uses this not as a guilt mechanism, but as a description of what generosity looks like when it comes first rather than last. The Macedonians did not give from surplus. They gave from what they had before surplus existed. 2 Corinthians 8:7, see that you also excel in this grace of giving. Not excel in the amount, excel in the grace. The formation that produces the Macedonian result is not capacity-based, it is sequencing-based. They gave first. Here is the correction stated plainly. The give from what's left framework produces the wrong kind of generosity, not because the amount is insufficient, but because it positions generosity as the residual of financial management, whatever survives the obligations. Proverbs 3:9, wisdom literature. Honor the Lord with your wealth, with the first fruits of all your crops. First fruits, the first portion of the harvest before the rest is allocated, before expenses are counted. The same design principle as the gleaning corner from EP35, built into the harvest structure before the counting starts. 1 Corinthians 16:2, set aside the giving on the first day of every week, in keeping with income. The timing is first. The proportion is in keeping with income, not in keeping with surplus. The Acts 4 community produced the result it produced, no needy persons among them, because generosity was the first allocation of a community built on transparency, not the residual allocation of individuals managing private accounts. In the EP20 automated financial system, giving is the first automated transfer. Not the largest, not the most emotionally difficult, the first. It fires before the reserve contribution, before the debt payment, before the discretionary allocation. The behavioral consequence is specific. When giving is last, it is variable, subject to whatever the month produced. When giving is first, it is fixed, a committed proportion of every paycheck. The committed proportion household gives consistently across every condition. The residual giving household gives generously in good months and minimally in difficult ones. The Acts 4 community did not give from the surplus months only. The Macedonians gave through extreme poverty. For a household that has not positioned giving as the first allocation, the change is not about the amount. It is about the sequencing. Move the giving transfer to first in the EP20 system. The amount can remain the same initially. The act of putting it first, like Barnabas selling the field and placing it at the apostles' feet before counting the rest, is an act of formation before it is an act of finance. Audit where giving sits in your financial sequence today, not how much, where. In the EP20 system, what is the first automated transfer? Is giving earlier in the sequence than your reserve contribution? Does it fire before you see the rest of the money allocated, or does it sit at the end in the giving line after all obligations are met? Move it, not to a larger amount necessarily, to the first position. Proverbs 3:9, honor the Lord with your wealth, with the first fruits of all your crops. First fruits, first, before the crops are allocated elsewhere. The Acts 4 community gave before the money had been counted into personal accounts. The Macedonians gave before they had it. The gleaning corner was left before the harvest was tallied. First, that is the one change this episode asks you to make. The framework is complete. Stewardship theology, automated system, debt sequence, investment architecture, gleaning corner, generosity as first allocation. Everything produced by the household operates within the same covenant architecture. Resources held in trust, allocated in covenant order, returned to the community that made their accumulation possible. The next series of videos begins something the channel has not done yet. What does this framework look like in the real financial decisions of real households? Not the ideal case, but the actual case studies of people living it. That begins the next video. It is queued up right now.